The trade deadline looms. What is the latest chatter regarding the Cubs? Where are some of these players going to go? We give our predictions for where they're going to end up, and then we preview Cubs Giants this weekend. That's all on this edition of Locked On Cubs.
You are Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome into Locked On Cubs alongside Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. Pleased to be with you today. Not much trade chatter here on a Wednesday. This is our Thursday episode with the deadline on Tuesday, August 2nd. Perhaps that means that the market is quiet right now, or maybe it is the calm before the storm. Sam, how's it going? Let's get into some trade talk.
Well, first of all, on behalf of the rest of, the other half of this show, I'd like to wish you a happy birthday. It's going to be, I hope it's a special day. I mean, it's not your birthday right now, but it will be when people are listening. So please comment below and wish me a happy birthday.
It's not my birthday.
Oh, did I miss that?
My birthday was last month.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Go ahead.
Yeah. So a lot of trade talk the last week. Okay, but for some reason, even on this Cubs off day, there wasn't too much new besides two proposals that I saw this afternoon that MLB.com drafted up. So I want to reveal those. But anything that you're hearing or you're most looking forward to as we enter the trade season here?
I'll have my predictions later on. I think that I'm looking forward to it to be over. Just because it's just, it's starting to get a little annoying, Cubs Twitter and everybody this and that. Listen, the one thing I would say about these trades is I feel like a really bad reaction from Cub fans are coming. Outside of Hap, I really wouldn't expect a ton oh my God, the Cubs traded Wilson Contreras and they got back the 9th prospect in somebody's system. What a waste. I don't know. Just don't freak out. I'm just seeing some of these. I saw somebody post predictions for the deadline had the Cubs getting everybody's top prospect. That's not going to happen. Their teams with needs. The Sox lost Joe Kelly today. They already had a need for a bullpen arm. Maybe they're in play for a Givens or a Chris Martin. Who knows? The Cubs have most. I mean, Luis Castillo is the top starting pitcher that's going to be on the move. I think David Robertson's one of, if not the top reliever. Givens is up there. Contreras has got to be one of the best players. I mean, the Cubs should have a really good deadline, but don't, freak out. And the other thing I would say is don't overreact to, I don't want to trade with so-and-so. They don't have a good system. A lot of these.
How do you know?
Yeah, a lot of these, well, it's ranked, but a lot of these rankings and stuff isn't legit because of the COVID season. We all missed a year. I mean, nobody thought Christopher Morel was one of the Cubs' better prospects, and he's been one of the best players on the team since he's been called up. So take a deep breath. Let's see what happens.
I can barely visit MLB.com because of the program that we record in. So I'll use it sparingly, but I believe that the Cubs have the best rental bat and the best rental reliever on the market. I do think that in the next coming days, if not already, you would classify this as a buyer's market. So I think the Cubs are in great position to fortify their system and, again, navigate their franchise in a positive direction. Okay? Is it going to again, we went through the emotions in Wednesday's episode, okay? And that's a real thing as a fan. But the point is that some of these players, especially Contreras, are going to be traded. Now it's about what kind of value can the Cubs get back. And as far as we can tell, in not some of the trades, all the trades last summer were wins. So you have to do that again.
Maybe not Kimbrel.
That's true.
Yet, at least.
That's true. But the difference there is there was
Magical can't fungo a ball out of the infield.
the difference there is there was major league players in that trade, which is pretty rare.
Right. Cody
For the
Blair has
deadline.
been hurt, so maybe he'll be back. Who knows?
Yeah. So we'll see. Okay. I don't think that Contreras and Happ are going to be packaged together. I really think that would take a lot, and
What's the proposal?
MLB.com
Yeah.
thinks it is going to happen.
Okay, so tell me the proposal.
So they say Contreras and Happ are going to go to the Fathers.
San Diego Padres.
Yes, for 4 players, all in the Padres' top 30. The number 2, number 4, number 15, and number 29 prospects are going to come back to the Cubs. The package is highlighted by Luis Campusano, the catcher, and Jackson Merrill, a shortstop. Those guys are 2 and 4 in the Padres system, respectfully. I think a catcher coming back, if you in the Contreras trade, being a catcher, I think that would be very convenient, but it's not necessary.
No, it's not necessary. There's so many other options. You want to get the best player you possibly can.
Do you think the Cubs are going to package those 2 big assets together? Does it behoove them to do that?
I don't know. Here's all I know. The Cubs do not need to make another Yu Darvish trade. They do not need any more high upside young guys. They need guys that they feel like internally that are going to be sure things. So if they have to package those guys in order to get back, let's say, a number 2 prospect in somebody's system that they are in love with, then by all means do it. The Pete Grow Armstrong trade, that was a 1-for-1 pretty much. And that worked out. I don't know. How would I know what they're going to do? I think they're going to make a package deal. I don't think it's going to be with the main 2 guys. I don't think it's going to be Contreras and Happ. I think it's going to be maybe Contreras and a reliever or Happ and a reliever. I don't think it's going to be those 2 together. But if that's the best deal, if they feel like that's the best assets that they could get is by doing that, hey, we think this kid's going to be up by next year and he's going to be a stud. If that's that, then do it. Because the depth in their farm system is there already. They don't need to add depth. They need to add stars.
Yes. Yeah. I talked about that on Locked On Padres, a crossover episode that's going to be released Friday with Javier Reyes, Locked On host who mispronounced my last name.
Please log off whatever you logged off because I didn't hear anything there.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me get off MLB.com. Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't hear any of that?
You're just a little choppy. Yeah.
I think it went through, so I'm not going to repeat it. But
yeah, by a little choppy, I mean I felt like I hit the SAP button.
Okay, sorry. So the Cubs, MLB.com proposed a big Cubs Twins trade.
The Twins. I haven't heard the Cubs link to the Twins at all.
Haven't heard that. And Scott Efros is in the deal.
Well, first of all, that's not going to happen. And second of all, Matt, if you're saying MLB.com, these aren't rumors. They're just proposals.
They're proposals. Yeah.
They don't know anything.
Right. Now,
let me tell you something. If Scott Efros is traded, every subscriber of mine gets $5.
Okay.
So
yeah, it would be
880 times 5. That's what
it would be ridiculous because he has 4 or 5 years of control left.
If they trade Scott Efros, you could find a new host.
They're proposing Robertson and Efros package to the Twins for 4 top prospects in their system. So it's interesting, but it's definitely a surprise seeing that.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
Okay. All right. So coming up next,
somebody's got to pitch. Somebody's got to close games.
Right.
We can't trade the whole team. I'm not subscribing to watch Robert Gazelman close out ball games. I know he's not on the team anymore. You don't have to comment.
I'm going to have to start throwing some pens in my backyard.
Comment below on who is your favorite Chicago Cubs player right now outside of Wilson Contreras and Ian Happ.
Yes. Yeah.
Is it Horner? Is it Suzuki? Is it Scott Efros?
And maybe you have one of those players trading cards that you're collecting, whether you're a casual card collector or looking for exciting alternative investment opportunities, the free Sports Card Investor app has something for you. Download the Sports Card Investor app today, available for free in the Google Play and Apple App Stores, or go to sportscardinvestor.com/locked on. There's a group of 10 players, Sam, that I believe the Cubs could trade. Contreras, Robertson, and Givens, and Smiley for sure. So those 4 for sure.
That's 4 players.
Hap, likely.
It's 5.
And then you have another group of 5 that I think there's a secondary chance they could be traded.
Yeah.
And those are Ortega, Wisdom, Martin, and then an even longer chance, Simmons and Miley. Beyond that group of 10, which is a lot of players, I know, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, I think I have the over/under. You have to put a hat. I think 6 is the number. That's how many I think are traded. I think 6 guys are traded. I would say Hap, Contreras, Robertson, Givens, Smiley, and Martin.
Okay.
And then I would be surprised at Ortega, not because I think the Cubs should hang on to him. I don't think a team values him. And Wisdom. Miley would shock me. He's throwing a rehab assignment, I think, right now. I mean,
on Friday.
I just think if I'm the Cubs, what you're going to get for him in a trade after one minor league start, you might as well just have him. He'll bring more value back to you to finish the season and maybe even bring him back next year. That's just my opinion. I don't see that trade really working out. Who's the other guy that you mentioned? You said Wisdom, Simmons. I mean, if you get a scratch off for Simmons, you're thrown.
Yeah, that would be a scenario where like somebody literally gets hurt on a playoff team this weekend and you need an infielder. And I think Miley would happen like minutes before the deadline just because they'd be reviewing his medicals.
Yeah, and that's
evaluating his rehab outing on Friday.
Player to be named later. Oh, is he throwing Friday? Is that what it is?
Friday in South Bend.
Oh, Friday. I know. So okay, so Friday. So tomorrow.
Yeah. So
wow,
a lot of players in the mix.
So you want to make predictions, and it hasn't gone unnoticed that you're wearing your chain out today.
Yes, I am.
Man, you look great.
I am. Thank you.
So you want so let's predict where we have these guys going, and by the time the show releases, we could already have deals. Because one thing I will predict, there will be a trade before first pitch at what do they call the Giant Stadium?
And there will be baseball this weekend at Oracle Park.
There will, because I always call it Pac Bell in my head.
Oh, wow. I forgot about Pac Bell.
There will be a trade before 9:15 Central Time when Justin Steele from Luzdale, Mississippi, he throws the 15th pitch of the game because the Cubs are on the road.
Right.
Who's pitching? We'll talk about that series later.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that later in the show.
Yeah. So I'm going to give you 2 teams for every player because one, I mean, I want to be right. I'm going to give you 2 teams.
Okay.
For David Robertson, I feel the most confident he's either going to be a Yankee or a Met.
Mm-hmm.
Feel pretty good about that. What do you think, Matthew?
Yeah, Mets and Yankees have certainly been connected to him probably the most. I would throw the Rays and the Braves in there. I saw those teams connected to him the last couple of days.
Okay, so then pick 2 because now you.
Oh, I'm picking 2?
Yeah, you can't. Just
definitely
pick
Mets Yankees.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
I have a lot of package deals I'm proposing, but keep going.
Okay. I will say Wilson Contreras is going to be either a New York Met or
I got to consult my notes.
A San Diego Padre.
Yeah, I think that's.
Yeah, I know the Astros like him. I just think the Astros take their catching so seriously. That's why Martin Maldonado hits like 170 and still catches.
Right.
So I don't see them giving up significant amount for a guy that they're not even going to catch. So I'm going to say the Padres or the Mets.
I think the Padres hold a lot of the cards. I do think that a lot of it's going to be reactionary in their case if they don't get Juan Soto. If they get Soto, I think Contreras still has a shot to go there, but we'll see. I'll say Mets Astros. for Contreras.
Okay. Next, we're going to go with Ian Happ. You go first this time.
Ian Happ. I'm going to go Yankees, Padres.
Okay. Let me think. I'm
Yankees,
thinking.
Padres.
For Ian Happ, I'm going to go. You ready for this?
Uh-huh.
I'm going to go. You ready for this?
Yeah, I'm over here on the other end, so yes. What the heck?
Yankees
Uh-huh.
or White Sox?
What? Come on, man.
I think that
I think the Sox are a good fit. The Pale Hose.
the Cubs and Sox have made a deal a lot lately.
I know,
and
it's
I think
scary.
I think they're going to make another one. And I'm about to tell you who else I think is going to be in my two White Sox. I think Michael Givens could be a White Sox.
Okay, thank you. I think for Givens, I'm going to say Yankees, Mets, just like Robertson.
I'm going to say Yankees or White Sox.
Okay, thank you. And I think that's the main four, right?
Yeah, I have no idea where Drew Smiley's going. I'm not going to pretend that I do.
I am going to share with you some packages that I have in front of me. Okay, and they're not from Amazon.
Okay, are we doing an unboxing on the show, circa Dave Portnoy?
Contreras, Robertson, and Smiley to the Mets. And then I have Happ and Givens to the Yankees and Wisdom Ortega to the Rays. And Martin to the White Sox.
So
3 combos and 1 single.
Right. So when you were doing this, are you just making this up, or you have like
I'm predicting that's what's going to happen.
Okay. Let me tell you something. If that happens, I'm going to take you to the finest steak meal that you've ever had. We're going to go to Chicago Cut. I'm going to make reservations right now for probably late April. And we're going to get a nice big piece of meat.
Great.
Because that's not going to happen. Okay. Say it one more time, though, so we know.
So I think it's going to be in the same trade, Contreras, Robertson, and Smiley to the Mets. Then Happ and Givens to the Yankees. Wisdom and Ortega to the Rays. And Martin to the White Sox.
If those things happen, no, I'm serious. If those things happen in a parlay, you know what, though? If one of them happens, that's a phenomenal prediction.
Okay, thank you.
The Ortega and Wisdom to the Rays.
These are big deals, man.
I just don't see the value there for the Tampa Bay club.
Right.
They team in
St. Petersburg.
They have a fantastic third baseman in Yandy Diaz.
Right.
They could use some outfield help, sure, with Ortega.
I know it's a little bit of a curveball.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a curveball. But the way you look tonight, keep throwing them.
12-6 break.
Yeah, right. Speaking of 12-6 break, I got nothing. All right.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm looking forward to the punchline. So anything else with trades or any big predictions from you?
My big prediction is Cub fans are going to be unhappy. Shocker there. And I'm going to have to talk everybody off the ledge. I just think people, and for whatever reason, I was talking to my roommate about this last night. For whatever reason, I just don't have the sentimental, like Ian Happ leaving, like he's a nice player, but like he wasn't even part of the 16 team. I'm not saying he's not a good player. I'm not saying he's not a great guy. I'm surprised at the backlash that they're getting because they're trading Ian Happ.
I think we should get into that in Friday's show, unless he's traded before that.
Yeah, it's just interesting. I'm just a fan of the Cubs, and there's been guys that have come in. Starlin Castro was one of my favorite players. I can't explain it. I loved Rizzo and KB, and Hendricks is always one of my favorites. But to me, the bigger picture always reigns out. And there's a lot of people that think this is a mistake. And I'll just repeat what I've said. I'll say this for the 7th time. The minute opening day started and Wilson Contreras wasn't extended, I knew that this was going to happen. So I'm not like that was when I had the reaction to him being traded. Now, I've known it. So brace yourselves. It kind of stinks because they're playing really well right now, and it's been nice to actually be excited as I continue to have the broom here, and the broom will be here during tomorrow's show because we will not be recording at midnight.
Right.
people will be upset, but I also don't think they're
It's
going
part of
to.
sports fandom, though.
I don't think they're going to fall off like they did. I don't think they're going to be
Oh,
awful,
really?
awful. Yeah, I don't think they'll be that bad. They're going to have Thompson, Smiley, and Stroman, and then potentially Miley and Sampson pitching all the time. Those guys have given you a chance to win. You're still going to have Horner and Suzuki and
Right.
that guy. I don't think they're going to fall off of a cliff. So we'll see.
Thanks again for making Locked On Cubs your first listen every day. We wanted to tell you with the trade deadline on August 2nd, Locked On MLB has all the breakdowns. We here on Locked On Cubs are going to attempt to have rapid reactions to any move made. We'll see with my coaching schedule the next 2 days. I would love to be a part of that. We're going to try to make that happen. So make sure you're subscribed on YouTube, because that's where you're going to get the live reaction to these deals. Also, keep an eye on Locked On MLB. And the subscription is important because you get notified when each episode premieres. So when we go live, okay, we're live, we're talking trades, and it's a good opportunity for us to grow as well. The Cubs take a 6-game win streak into the Bay Area as Cubs-Giants the next 4 nights, 4 different game times, Sam, 3 different television networks. It's going to be Marquee, Apple TV Plus, Marquee, and ESPN.
Are you kidding me?
No.
They're on Apple TV. They're on Apple TV again on Friday?
Yeah. 8:45, 9:15, 8:05, and 6:05. It's going to be Steele and Wood, Stroman and Cobb, Smiley and Junis, and Sampson and Rodon.
Those are pretty – so they don't have to face Webb.
I think he pitched last night.
Say those pitching matchups again one more time, Mateo. Slowly, please.
So Thursday is Steele and Wood.
Steele and Alex Wood, the left-hander.
Yeah, battle of southpaws.
And what's Alex Wood's numbers on the year, if you have that?
I don't have that because MLB.com is slowing me down.
Okay,
so I
sorry,
have another site open.
That's okay. God bless you.
Thank you. Stroman and Cobb, battle of righties on Friday.
Yeah, Cubs could win that baseball game. It's going to be on Apple TV, so I won't be watching.
Smiley and Junis on Saturday evening.
Junis just came off the IL, I think, this week. Hasn't pitched that while. He's not an overwhelming guy. And
on Sunday Night Baseball, Sampson and Rodon. Rodon had an excellent start to the year. He's gotten a bit cold.
Yeah, Rodon's going to dominate this club. But I think there's a pretty good chance to get a split out of this.
Any official predictions from you?
No official predictions. I don't want to start predicting every series. I only want to predict when I felt good in Philly. I felt good in Pittsburgh. Right now, this series, I'm a little intrigued. But you also have to take into consideration how weird it's going to be with the trades and things like that.
Right.
So who knows how that impacts. But the Cubs are playing good baseball now. And like I said, it's not all the talk's going to be about the trades this week and blah, 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 blah. So we're not going to be able to, really, focus on the team as much. But, hopefully they play well. Excited for Steele to get a chance to pitch tomorrow. It's a big ballpark, not tons of power, not tons of power on the Giants. Should be able to just attack with that fastball and have a good outing. Same with Stroman. Same with Sampson. And who knows if Smiley will even make that start.
That's true. Send us some questions for Friday's episode, 312-834-4634, or our Twitter handles there, or Locked On Cubs on Twitter as we start to close out today's show. Any final thoughts?
My final thoughts are that this is going to be a tough week for some people. Right. And watch the show with us, have some laughs. Mm-hmm. Let's recap it together, and remember,
let's experience it together.
We, as the new, I don't even want to say the new Locked On Cubs hosts. I feel like we've cemented ourselves as the hosts.
I mean, this is week 4, so I would say we've cemented it.
Yeah, we are going to be the voice of the next great Cubs team, and you have to take.
Let's go.
Sometimes in life, you have to take 3 to 4 steps back to take 6 to 8 steps forward. Now, if this upcoming offseason, Mr. Ricketts doesn't get out the checkbook for multiple free agents, I will break something.
All right, good final words.
Okay.
Join us on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Locked On Cubs on YouTube, Locked On Cubs on Twitter, 312-834-4634 to hit us up via text. Thanks for making Locked On Cubs your first listen every day. Now make your second listen the Locked On MLB podcast. MLB expert Paul Francis Sullivan, who I believe tweeted at Sam last night, brings humor, passion, unique perspective on every team and the biggest stories around the league. For Sam Olber, I'm Matt Cozy. This is Locked On Cubs.